just get going.
Yeah,
And we can have the pleasantries live. People
of
can say,
life and life.
people people might wonder sometimes, like, oh, did you guys talk beforehand? No, guys, I pressed go live while I was asking Justin how he's doing.
Yeah,
Um,
doing all right. How about you, Nick? What's going on?
busy life, busy life. Just kidding. I
Same.
mean, busy. I do have a lot going on, but it's nothing
Yeah,
interesting. Um, yeah, we took a week off last week, Justin.
we
I
did.
we needed a break from each other. We just couldn't stand each other,
That's
and
true. Life happens.
yes,
Nick
no,
tells these stories. I love Nick.
we're here. We're here.
We are. What's up,
Um,
everybody?
Justin, tonight, obviously, I wanted to talk about the upcoming horror movies that we've got this year. Kind of go by, through them one by one,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of,
Thank you.
I just see what you're looking forward to. See what you're not looking forward to. Everybody in here so far,
What's up, Katerina? Hopefully I said that right.
Katrina. That's Katrina. Yes.
Katrina. Okay.
Muzak, Sean, Christina, Louis. Oh,
So
my boy Mark in here. How's everybody doing this evening? There's a lot coming down the pipe. Ooh, nice. But Justin, what have you been up to lately? How's life treating you?
life is good. Busy, but life is good. I always say that. I'm like, life is good and busy, but really, to be truthful, and this is not a down. I don't go out too much, and I don't do a lot. I'm just a movie guy who loves films and just enjoys life. So sorry if you're somebody doing lawn mowing
I
outside.
was gonna say somebody is they're
Yeah.
getting to it.
Yeah, I'm like distracted a little bit. I'm like, on Tuesdays you guys do this.
You're all
Wednesdays.
Yeah, no,
That's good. No complaints.
I don't do anything either. I don't go anywhere. I'm not hanging out with people. It's not me. I'm an introvert by nature.
Same.
Hence why I have a YouTube channel, because I can talk to all of you virtually, but don't have to see anybody in person, because I don't
Right.
like that, because it scares me.
People
So
are scary sometimes. They're not you all. I love you all.
no, you're all terrifying. Jaden is seeing Slaughterhouse in 40. Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Mm.
You let me know how it is. Is that the one that's
Dude.
PG-13 though? Which I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
let me know how. Well, I shouldn't ask Jaden to let me know how it is, because he'll just lie and say it was amazing, even if it's trash. But yeah, no, pretty much the same. Just been busy, keeping busy. We will not be doing a stream next week because I am on vacation.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, starting Friday. Friday, I'm taking a half day at work, going straight from work to Cincinnati, where I'm staying in an Airbnb for the weekend for Toby's bachelor party.
Nice.
I think he and Greg are doing I think they're doing like a joint thing. So I'll be there for their bachelor party, and then leave there Sunday, get back home, and then Monday I'm on the road to go to Tennessee, where I will be for 5 days. I'll get back Friday night.
Cool.
So yeah, busy times. I'm trying to clean the house because my, I guess, ex-mother-in-law will be coming over every day to check on my, my dog and my cats and whatnot. So, trying to make it seem like I keep this place mildly clean, which I do. I actually do. But yeah. Oh my God, Jaden, thank you so much. No, but I will tell you guys, I will be doing karaoke at the marina one night when I am drunk, and I will make sure that it is recorded and promptly put on Instagram. I already told my brothers, every year we go there at the marina one night, we always go down there because there's there's sometimes hundreds of people down there.
Yeah.
And there's a bar and everything. And I usually do karaoke if I get tipsy enough. And a couple years ago, I did Everybody, Backstreet's Back, while I was tipsy. And it was awesome. So yeah, we'll be doing some karaoke. So you guys will be able to witness that. But anyway.
Oh, and I will say this: I booked my tickets to Scarefest, so I'm going there in October. So that's my second vacation this year is the week of Scarefest. So leading up to that week will be Scarefest. So I'll be off that whole week.
Nice. It is not in the cards for me financially this year to go to a con. But it's all right. I have been talking with a couple people. I'm going to work something out next year. We're going to try to go to a con that's near us, so we can get a lot of us YouTubers together, whether that's Scarefest next year, whatever it might be. It's definitely something I want to look into doing next year.
Yeah.
Because we wanted it to be a yearly thing, and then we just didn't do one this year, which was kind of weird. But whatever. So, Justin.
Yes.
I've got a little bit of news for you before.
What's your news? What's going on?
I know. It's crazy. It's wild. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this. Tell me.
Okay. So I did some digging myself just to make sure that it wasn't bullshit. And it is not bullshit. I can tell you guys, and we're not going to have a repeat of Scream 6. We're not going to have a repeat, okay, guys?
Yeah.
But I can tell you guys that I do know for a fact that before the strikes started, Nev Campbell was in contract negotiations with Spyglass for Scream 7. I do know that. What I cannot tell you is whether or not she signed that deal. I don't know. And the trades won't report it right now because obviously of the strikes and whatnot. So you're not getting that kind of breaking news about actors being involved in certain projects right now because nothing is happening. But I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that she was negunegotiating with them.
Nice.
Both sides seem interested.
Okay.
And apparently the script, I guess the best way to put it is the movie needs Sydney. Now, if things were to not work out and you just like Scream 6, they would have to rewrite a lot, I'm sure. But as it currently sits, the movie needs Sydney. And
I think she needs to come back.
I do too. I want to see her. I absolutely want to see her. But
she needs to be in this one.
I agree. And I think that it's very, very nice to hear that we can get confirmation that she has been in contract negotiations. Usually when you're in contract negotiations, you've read a script. You've read a script or you have a general idea of what they want from you. And now you're talking about financials. So that's exciting. It's exciting. And
very exciting.
I heard about it a couple days ago. From one person. I didn't want to, I was like, I'm not going to say, I don't know if this person's BSing me or not. Reached out to two different people in I would say in the industry, one of which is very reputable. And they both were like, I've heard the same thing. I know that she was talking to them, but nobody can say whether or not she signed. I did see a rumor going around last night on Twitter. Somebody was like, oh, she signed before the strike started. I don't know that. Nobody can confirm that. So I don't know.
Well, I hope she comes back. Saturn Video, her story is not over.
Well, he said unless someone isn't dead.
Oh, that's true. So,
because Stu's alive, Justin. I don't give a shit what you say. But anyway,
sure.
Even if he never shows up again, I'm just gonna always say he was alive, though.
Just say he's alive. That way she can come into it. Like, oh, Stu's alive. There's a newspaper or something like that. So,
hey, whatever it is, I'm excited to hear that Nev and
me too.
The studio seem to be negotiating, and I feel confident that it's going to happen. But Justin, let's get right into this. Let's not pussyfoot around. Let's not BS. We've got a slate of movies coming up over the next few months that I wanted to talk about. And I want to kind of go one by one with. And I've got some new info, guys, on The Exorcist Believer. Not spoilers, don't worry. So when we get to The Exorcist Believer, I've got some things to report that I think you guys might be happy to hear.
Okay.
I may or may not have spoken to somebody that attended the most recent test screening a couple nights ago. And I've got some reaction that I want to share with you guys. So first and foremost, the one that I believe is closest would be The Nun 2, which that's next week.
I know, it's so funny. Was it a trailer on YouTube or something like that? And I was actually discussing with a friend. I was like, what horror movies are coming out the rest of the year, and we were like, oh, The Exorcist, and we named another one, but like The Nun 2, I was like, it never crossed my mind. And then I thought about it when I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh yeah, The Nun 2. I feel like they're not promoting it as much as they should be. I don't know.
I haven't seen the promotion like I have for previous movies in the Conjuring universe,
Yeah.
but I wonder if that's because Warner Brothers, honestly, at this point, thinks it doesn't matter. It's the Conjuring universe. People will come watch it. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're wrong. I think it'll open big. Whether it sustains, we'll see. But I do, or maybe they don't have confidence in it. I don't know. But The Nun 2 comes out next week. Opening night will actually be, I'll still be on vacation. So I'm actually wondering if I should go check it out while I'm on vacation.
I'll definitely seeing it that weekend. Like I'm down for any horror movie in theaters.
Yeah. Look, you guys know my opinions. I wasn't a huge fan of The Nun. I know a lot of people defend The Nun, and there are a lot of people that really like The Nun. I like the setting. Tiya Farmiga is great in the movie. But isn't it crazy how as she gets older, she looks more and more like Vera? Like
she does. I know.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
You can totally tell they're sisters. It's wild.
Well, I always remember her as like her debut, from what I remember, was like American Horror Story, and I'm looking at her now, like she's in The Nun too. So I love The Nun. It's actually grown on me a lot. Like I really enjoyed it in theaters. I love it now. So I'm excited to see this movie.
What's up, Akeem? Let me know. Did you check out? Were you able to see about that Black Christmas? I totally forgot. Let me know, man. Send me a DM or something. I can't get it out of my head. He found a couple copies of that out of print Blu-ray at like a used video game and movie shop and whatnot. And I was like, dude, pick me up one and I will pay you to mail it to me. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I'm not a huge fan of it, simply just because, like, I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't scary. I don't know, but I don't hate it. And I'm looking forward to this one. I think that very similar to Annabelle and Annabelle Creation, I think that, damn it, Akeem. Damn it. And now my night is ruined. Yeah, I think that it could be very similar to that, where they kind of learn from their mistakes that they made, because whether you like the movie or not, there's a lot of people that weren't huge about it. They weren't big into it. And so hopefully you can learn from some of that, maybe correct some of those complaints. But yeah, I'm excited. I wouldn't even, no, I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, when I watched this, I guess it was a new trailer. Like I looked at it and I said, I think I'll like this movie, but I don't know if I'll love it, because I don't know. Like there's a couple things to it. One, you never know with sequels. They can be good or bad, but the Annabelle movies did prove that as the Annabelle movies went along, they got better. But the second thing is, and I really enjoy The Conjuring 3, but I did not like The Curse of La Llorona. It is that director. Yes. And I'm like, it's either going to be good or bad. Like, we don't know. We don't know.
Well,
does that make sense? Like, like I'm just like, I kind of just go in not hyped up, but I'm like, okay, let's just see what we got going on here.
Yeah, I think the Conjuring universe as a whole has been more hit than miss. So when you go into it, you're kind of cautiously optimistic anyway, because you're like, well, most of the movies have been good, decent to good. So
yeah, I mean, I love the franchise. So.
The chances are it'll probably be at least decent. But I mean, man, if it sucks, I'm going to be really bummed. Like
I'll be bummed. Well, I was going to say I'll be bummed because it might be the last Conjuring movie, but we have the fourth Conjuring movie coming out. But man, if this one sucks, that fourth Conjuring movie needs to be a banger. Like, it just needs to be. And
it's going to be Patrick and Vera's last one.
Yeah. I mean, I almost feel like if that one doesn't do well, like if Conjuring 4 is not good, like they just need to end that universe. Like, no more.
It sounds to me, and good for Patrick Wilson, it sounds to me like he wants to branch out more in his career and do more directing and stuff like that, and producing and less acting. And he did a great interview after Insidious: The Red Door came out, where he was talking about that. He was like, I'm still going to act, but I definitely kind of want to venture into this part of my career more now. Yeah. And in that same interview, it was with the Boo Crew podcast. It was where he said, we're excited to do the next Conjuring film, which is looking like it's going to be the final one. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, fuck. But I was like, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, it breaks my heart because I love those movies. And I think the two of them as Ed and Lorraine are just great. Their chemistry's great, but you better make it damn good.
Make it damn good. Like, it needs to be better. I mean, I really enjoy 3, but after rewatching it the second time, I was like, I loved it the first time. Second time, not as much. But the fourth one needs to be the level of, in my opinion, the first 2 movies.
Yes. Yeah.
It needs to be that level. It needs to be the level, like, it needs, in my opinion, to be the 3rd best movie, at least, in the whole entire universe. Like, does that make sense? Like,
yes. Yeah. I don't expect anything to ever top The Conjuring 2 for me. But you can come close.
You can come close. Like, my favorite is the first movie, but my second favorite is Conjuring 2 out of the whole universe. So,
yeah, I mean, I know it would never happen, but I'd love to see James Wan back. But
I want him to direct it. I'm like, damn, dude, just direct this one movie. Like, this be your last horror movie.
He's too good for us now, Justin.
He's so good. I mean, fix the mistakes you did with Malignant. I'm just kidding. I know you.
Oh Lord, I've actually still only watched that movie once. I need to watch it again. I haven't watched it since it came out. Yeah, well, I liked it, but I was just like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, like I don't know. But in September, there's another movie coming out. There's another movie coming out that I was actually talking to Jaden about earlier on Instagram, and I said, if this honestly isn't my favorite horror movie of the year, I honestly feel like I'm going to be disappointed.
Which one is that?
I am so stoked. I am so pumped. I am so hyped. I cannot contain my excitement. Death Punch, what's up, man?
What's up, Death Punch?
I cannot contain my excitement for Saw X.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm telling you, Justin.
First time I'll talk.
I cannot wait. And the closer and closer we get to it, and the more promotional material we keep getting, and the things we keep hearing, and the interviews that people are giving and whatnot, it's just like, to me, I'm just like, everything is lining up for this movie to be awesome. Like,
absolutely.
And there was a quote today that came out from Kevin Gruder, the director, and he said that the movie is less about the traps and the gore and the heinous death, and more about an emotional journey with Jigsaw. And I mean, fuck, man, I just like, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's crazy to just think that I'm going to be able to see Tobin Bell again as Jigsaw on the big screen, and Amanda and Hoffman. And I saw your question earlier, Dylan. I wanted to wait until I got to where we were talking about it. I don't know if they're going to address what happened at the end of Saw, the final chapter. I do know that we're going to be seeing Hoffman in the capacity of, in where the movie takes place between 1 and 2. I don't know if there will be any time jumps. But I will say that Kevin Gruder, the director, did say, when asked about that, if we were going to find out what happened to Hoffman at the end of 7, he said no comment. So very well could happen.
Jump forward or something.
So. I mean, who knows? But I got to tell you, I mean, I won't go on too long about it. I could drone forever about this movie. I cannot wait for this movie.
I'm so excited for this movie, and one of the main reasons I'm excited for it is I feel like we've talked about this in the past. This feels like a Saw movie. Like, it feels like one. Like, I love Jigsaw. Doesn't feel like a Saw movie.
Mm-hmm.
Spiral was okay. Spiral's okay. Like, I enjoy it, but it doesn't feel like a Saw movie. And this one does. Like, it brings back all the, it's crazy to say this, but like nostalgia of like seeing these movies.
It's almost 20 years old, Justin.
I know. It's like, so crazy.
It is nostalgia.
And so I'm psyched, man. I am so excited, and I'm excited that we got Tobin back and Shawnee, and we're gonna see some familiar faces and new faces. But this it's gonna be awesome.
Oh, I did some digging the other day.
Yeah.
I wanted to let you know this and anybody else watching. Who here is a fan of Betsy Russell as Jill Tuck?
I love Betsy Russell as Jill.
I love her too. I remember being a teenager watching these movies and being like, God, she's so hot. Like I thought she was
hated
gorgeous.
that she died and saw the final chapter.
I know.
Rooted when I was seeing it in theaters. I was like, do not kill her off.
But we finally got to see the reverse bear trap in action.
I know, but it sucked so bad. I was like, I wanted her to survive.
What's up, Dylan? How you doing, man? Well, the reason I ask is because I know there's a lot of fans of Jill Tuck. So I did some digging to find out if she was in this movie because I had heard that there was interest for her to be in this movie. Sadly, I can tell you guys she is not in this movie. And you might go, well, why not? Holy shit, Akeem, when is that? You let me know because as soon as you're done with it, I'm going to pick your brain. I don't want spoilers, but I'm going to pick your brain to see what you thought of it.
I'll be texting you all night about it. Just kidding.
I will. She's not in the movie. And the reason she's not in the movie is really, really petty. She used to be engaged to one of the producers of the Saw series, Mark Berg.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess she called off the engagement pretty abruptly. So he hates her. Hates her now. And so from what I was told.
That's so petty.
I know. The filmmakers wanted her back. There was a part for her. And Mark Berg came down and said, no, never going to happen.
Oh, come on. Like, seriously?
Well, they pay the bills, so it's like the producers at the top, they make those decisions. It is super petty. It's complete bullshit. But yeah.
You know what I loved about Jill? I love the fact that she was the one, even though like he still made these traps and everything. It seemed like she was out of the good that he had in his life with all the stuff that he had been through and the stuff and the actions that he took. The only good thing in his life was Jill. And
he took her for granted too.
And he took her for granted. But you know what I mean? Like, we know Jigsaw is like Jigsaw, the trap guy and the villain of it. But like when you got introduced to Jill, it was like, okay, here's this one person that he truly loved in his life. And yeah, so I don't know. What were you going to say?
Akeem, I will be messaging you. You lucky SOB. No, what I was going to say is like, I don't ever hear people talk about that specific aspect enough that like, so he survived a near-death experience when he tried to kill himself, a suicide attempt. And he, in that moment realized that he valued his life and he needed to value his life. And that was when he started the games and everything like that. But he's a walking contradiction and a hypocrite because in the middle of all that happening, of him starting these games and whatnot, he's taking his life for granted still with Jill, completely shutting her out. Like she has a great line, and it's either Saw 4 or Saw 5 when she says to him, I lost him too, when she was talking about the baby, because he completely detaches from like any emotion or any normalcy in his life after they lose Gideon, and in turn shuts her out. So it's just ironic to me. It's ironic because it's like you're all about people cherishing their life and making the most of what they have and whatnot, but you still aren't even doing that yourself. Maybe you should have been put in one of your own games.
I agree with that, but I always think about like the final chapter when like Hoffman kills her, and like one of Tobin Bell Jigsaw's request though was if anything happens to Jill, take care of this guy. And it was just like, I hate Hoffman. If you guys don't know, I hate Hoffman. I cannot stand Hoffman.
I love Hoffman.
You're not supposed to like him, but I cannot stand the guy at all. Like,
I had a weird relationship with him because I didn't really like him. for a while when these movies were first coming out, and he started to grow on me. And I think I not only accepted him but embraced him because I was like, he is the antithesis of John. And that's why watching his movies, you're slowly watching his downfall. You're slowly watching where, I mean, it's just examples upon examples of you are not John Kramer.
Right.
And it's awesome to see because like the slow unraveling of Mark Hoffman to the point where he's cornered by the end. Everyone knows who he is. He's just basically turned into a slasher. And, you know, it's a perfect juxtaposition between John, because John here actually did, in his own messed up way, want people to cherish their lives and wanted people to have an opportunity to survive and to make something of themselves. Hoffman just loves pain and inflicting pain. And it's so I just feel like his downfall is beautiful. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I mean, he's a character you're supposed to hate, but you love to hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I rooted for that son of a bitch at the end. I was like, yes, you suck, dude. You're trapped in there forever.
Yeah. My buddy feels
like, ha, ha, jokes on
R.I.P. Strom. That's right. But what a great moment from Saw 5. What a great moment. He says, have you learned to trust me? And Strom obviously hasn't. And because he had not learned to trust him, he got all killed. Squished up.
I do want to bring up a horror movie, which I don't know how much of a horror movie this is going to be, but it comes out in September too. I don't know if you know about it. Haunting in Venice. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I mean, I have. I don't know. I know it's the same series of novels of like Death on the Nile,
Murder on the Oriental Express, and Death on the Nile. I'm curious, like, how much of this is going to be a horror movie, though, because when they announced that they were doing this, I was like, here it's connected to these other movies. I love the other films, by the way. But I'm like, how much of this is going to be a horror movie? Like, I watched the trailer and I was like,
it definitely seems like they're trying to play up some of the horror in the trailer. Yeah. I don't think it's really going to be all that much of a horror movie. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's going to flop.
Oh, it's not going to do well. Like I'm surprised they made it, to be quite honest, because the last one
flopped.
Didn't do well at all.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think the reason they did was because they blamed it on COVID. They were like, oh,
COVID, and then they were like, we're putting it on streaming and theaters at the same time, and it still made it really didn't make any money. So I'm maybe it was a contract thing, I don't know, but like I was surprised that they were like, we're doing a third movie, and I'm like, well,
it'll probably be the last one.
It'll probably be the last one, and I'm fine with it because it's like I do love the films. I think they're entertaining, but like I'm not like gonna go and be like, I want that fourth movie. Like, just hopefully it wraps up. It's like, okay, we got our third movie. That's all we need. Like,
yeah. And Sean,
it's gonna be more of a thriller. Yes,
Sean, I know that's what I'm saying. It's the juxtaposition between John Kramer and Mark Hoffman that is so interesting. To watch somebody completely pervert John's teachings and to watch that person slowly lose it and unravel and the walls close in on that person movie after movie to the point where it's just I think back to the line in Saw 3 when Donnie Wahlberg, Detective Matthews, is screaming at Amanda, "You're not Jigsaw, bitch." Like, it's a perfect on-screen representation of that. Of Mark Hoffman, you're not Jigsaw. You're not Jigsaw. You'll never be Jigsaw. And we as the audience got to go along on that journey and see exactly why he's not Jigsaw. Not every apprentice is made the same. And watching that unraveling is just, chef's kiss. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Sarah, Sarah says about the last voyage of the Dementor bombed. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome too. I love the movie. And I hope you're not thinking that like we were talking about Haunting in Venice bombing, that it's not going to be a good movie, because
no, financial performance means jack shit.
I loved the first two of those movies. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. I'll probably see it in theaters. Like, it'll probably be something where I go on a Sunday and I watch it. So
yeah, I mean, I don't ever take financials into account whether a movie's good or not. You know how many terrible movies have made a ton of money? I mean, and how many great movies made no money?
Exactly.
So many people seem to forget that when Halloween first came out, its opening weekend, it was a flop. It was terrible.
And it built over. Scream was the other same way. Scream over time made more money. So.
Now things were different back then,
Very different.
But I'm just saying, like, people have much shorter attention spans now. So if a movie comes out and it doesn't do well its opening weekend, it doesn't get people talking about it, it's done. It's done for. It's done for.
Yeah.
So but yeah, Saw X, man. I am so excited as far as and then we, talking about Haunting in Venice as well. And then after that, Justin, comes October. And then October comes first. Before we talk about the one that I know everybody is chomping at the bit to talk about, as am I, because I have some info for y'all. There's a little movie coming to Paramount Plus. A little movie that I've been waiting for a long time. A movie that wrapped filming 2 years ago and sat on a shelf because I don't think Paramount knew what they wanted to do with the movie. And it's a shame because I think it should go to theaters because the last one made over $100 million. So I think you should kind of ride, the hot hand there. But I don't know. I don't make these decisions. Pet Sematary, Bloodlines. The origin story of Judd Crandall. Of him as a teenager and young adult, and I would imagine we're going to learn about him burying Biff back there, and basically really realizing the power of that graveyard. Mm-hmm. I am very, very excited. This is first-time director Lindsay Beer. This is her directorial debut. Mm-hmm. I hope it's great. I hope she does a great job. And David Duchovny, it's got a great cast. I believe that there's reverence for the source material, and I think that they're really trying to deepen the lore here and the mythology, and I'm so excited for that. The only bummer is Paramount Plus. I mean, I'll be there watching it as soon as it drops on Paramount Plus. I'm very excited, but I wish it would go to theaters. I really do. Justin, Pet Sematary Bloodlines, how you feeling?
I'm looking forward to it. Like I loved the remake or reboot. Like I think it's great.
Vastly underrated.
Yes, and I agree with that. And I love anything with Pet Sematary, like the story and all the background with it, and just anything surrounding that idea. Like I am for it, and I'm excited.
I try to tell people all the time, like, Pet Sematary is probably my favorite Stephen King adaptation.
That might be between that and Carrie. But I'll tell you what, the damn book, Pet Sematary, is awesome and terrifying. Like I read that in a summer and I was hooked from beginning to end and absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for this. Like you said, my only downfall is like it's going on streaming and we're not getting this in theaters because, like you said, the first one made over the last one made over $100 million, and it's like, have faith in your movies. Like, don't just try to throw these on streaming. Like, give these movies like a chance. And,
Justin, part of me wonders if Paramount looks at it like, we've had this sitting on a shelf for 2 years now. This movie's been done. The longer it sits here, the longer we wait to make any kind of money off of it, to maybe even try to break even. And then they look at the theatrical release schedule and they go, oh, Saw, oh, Exorcist, oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, we can't drop this fall. It won't make any money.
Well, like you said, too, it's been on the shelf for 2 years. I mean,
put it out in summer.
Last year. You could have released it last year. Like, done something with it. Like,
I would honestly be okay, Justin, if they delayed this till like first quarter next year to put it out in theaters. I really would.
I know people think January is a terrible month for horror movies, but
The Invisible Man says otherwise.
The Woman in Black. Like, love The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe. Like, there are movies that come out in January and February that are actually good. Like, release it then. Like, don't just throw it on streaming. Like, I don't.
Having said that, Justin, I am happy it's going to be here for Halloween.
I am happy with that, and I'm happy we're seeing it. Like, I see a lot of Salem's Lot talk. I mean, come on, studio. Where is Salem's Lot? Maybe with this excitement and if people tune into
I,
this.
I was going to tell you, Justin, and to everybody watching, expect news on Salem's Lot very soon.
I hope so.
I
Man,
spoke with somebody the other day. They're actually about to start a new round of test screenings for it. So expect news on it soon. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they wanted to do reshoots. I don't know. I really do not know what it was and why they pulled it. I don't know if they got cold feet because they saw the release schedule this year and they were like, there's just not a good place to put it. And to be totally honest with you, you and I have talked about this, and I've talked about it at nauseum on social media. It's absolutely true. The summer was loaded with movies. Like,
summer was crazy.
Blockbuster after blockbuster every single week, to the point where the only movie that was able to sustain were Barbie and Oppenheimer. Those are the only two movies that really had legs.
Had the legs, absolutely. Like I mean, I'm telling you one thing. I think I've seen more movies this past summer than I did just last year alone. Like I was at the theater constantly. Yeah, but there was a lot of movies that like came out, and like you said, there was a lot of films that bombed, like did not do well.
Yeah, well, guys, don't get. I would hope that you don't get too used to it, because by this time next year, you're going to be having old movies released in theaters again because nothing new will be coming out because of the strikes.
And it's, I mean, I get why. I understand the strikes completely. I get it, but I'm just sad because, like you said, next year we won't have that many movies because things are going to be affected. So.
Yeah, what's up, Quentin?
Freedom was a hit. We're talking about like, block. I mean, how many movies? I'll tell you this.
I won't give my thoughts on that. I'll just say that.
I know. I will say this. If you go back, so go think prior to 2020. Think of 2019. A lot of movies in the summer either made $1 billion or were close to making $1 billion.
It wasn't even that these movies weren't making money. They would have good opening weekends and whatnot, and then it would just
drop.
Yes.
Completely.
Transformers opened to 170 million worldwide. That was a pretty good opening weekend.
Yeah.
And it didn't have the legs because a week later, another big ass movie came out.
I knew.
So there were a lot of movies that made money, that made their budgets back. Absolutely. But they just didn't sustain.
Even like Sarah, I haven't seen Ninja Turtles yet, but like
I really enjoyed it.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited, but it started strong. I don't know how well it's doing, but
Ninja Turtles is having pretty good legs, actually. It's looking like it's going to make about 200 million when it's all said and done, about 3 times its budget, and they've already started work on the sequel. So yeah,
awesome. Haunted Mansion, loved it. Absolutely loved it. What killed that movie? 2 things. One, they released it in summer. Why do that? I don't understand. Like, release it in October. That is the perfect time to do it, and it would have made more money. And 2, they released it a week after Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Yes.
And another perfect example of a film is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Don't even get me fucking started.
I love that movie so much.
Paramount is dumb. So dumb.
Yeah, it's not.
You released Mission Impossible a week before Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Pushed it out of the IMAX so Oppenheimer can have it, which is understandable. But like,
how fucking stupid can you be, Paramount? Seriously, Justin.
It's sad. It's sad because Fallout was one of the biggest movies of 2019.
Yes.
One of the biggest movies of 2019.
And this movie would have been close to as big had they released it in, I don't know, May.
They didn't even, but the sad thing about it is too, Nick, they only had the movie in IMAX, and not every movie needs to be in IMAX.
Oh, it was in IMAX for like 5 days or some shit.
5 days. And they were like, oh, we got another movie coming in. It's like, I see what you're doing. Like, it's sad. It's sad.
It's pathetic. It is so pathetic. Now, I will say this, Justin.
Okay.
Million Impossible looks like it's going to end they say it's going to end its run probably somewhere about around 600 million worldwide when it's all said and done. 600 million ain't nothing to scoff at. The problem is it's got a $300 million budget. So when factoring everything in, I believe I saw a report yesterday from Deadline that said it's probably going to lose Paramount about $100 million. Now, before anybody goes, oh God, what does that mean for part two? Part two is almost finished. It was almost done filming,
like,
and then the strikes happened. Yes.
And
so it's coming. Like, that's already almost done. 1, 2, this should make you happy. It makes me happy too. A lot of that budget for part one, the $300 million, factors into part two as well, because they shot them back to back.
Yeah.
So in reality, part two is probably only costing Paramount like $150 million. So it's going to be gravy for them with part two. They're going to make a ton of money.
Oh, part two is going to be a bigger hit, because part two is going to come out I don't know when it comes out, but this summer was huge for me.
It's supposed to be next May. But I think with the strikes, you're probably looking, I would say, best case scenario, September of next year, if these strikes get resolved soon.
I would honestly release it. Don't release it in September. Do like a November release, like holiday release.
Justin, I'm putting y'all on blast right here, right now. Months ago on a stream, Justin can recall, some of you guys were watching. I know you were. I said that Barbie was going to be the biggest movie of 2023 months ago. I said it on a live stream.
Right. He was
right.
I
said it. And I
was surprised.
I follow the box office like a freaking fiend. And I kept telling people it's going to be bigger than people think. It's Barbie, dude. Like, everybody knows what Barbie is. Like, Margot Robbie, also, you've got Ryan Gosling, Will Ferrell, like star power and brand recognizability. And I said on a live stream months ago, I felt like it was going to be the biggest movie of the year, beating Super Mario Brothers. I said that,
and it did.
I am taking that victory lap. I am eating that W, because so many people were like, yeah, it's going to be a hit, but there's no way it makes $1 billion. Yeah, suck it. I said it. Sorry.
I want a T-shirt that says "Suck it, I said it, suck it."
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I love Indiana Jones. Don't be hating. I loved Indiana Jones. I'm heartbroken that bomb.
Yeah, Phil, I know. I don't know, man. Sometimes with the box office, I just know.
But you know what though? What was really cool though is like, I love Barbie. I thought it was great, but good word of mouth kept people going to see it, and I'm happy with that. I wish more movies would have been like that. So
I am definitely not the best, James. But when you follow the box office like a nerd, like I do, like literally every day, every single day.
Yeah. Sarah watched Barbie. It's a lot better than what you would expect.
I mean, it got rave reviews and it's made like almost 1.5 billion. So I think a lot of people would say it's good. But yeah, whatever. I'm just taking my victory lap. Sorry.
Oh, Saturn Video. Those are two different franchises. Two different ones.
Lucasfilm property that got revived that maybe shouldn't have been revived. But I didn't want to see Indiana Jones bomb. There's a lot of fans.
I love the character.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, I know. But hey, maybe this is their way of looking at it and going, all right, we are done with Indiana Jones. Probably should have been done after Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I don't hate that movie. I think it's fine.
I like it. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
But that probably should have been the last one.
Yeah, but this one was better.
That's what I've heard.
This one brought me more nostalgic feels to the first three films, like story-wise.
Yes, Kathleen Kennedy needed to be fired after they scrapped all of The Last Jedi and went with what they had for Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't care how you feel about that movie, and we're not going to get into that debate right now, guys.
We won't talk about it.
I'm just simply going to say you need to see a trilogy through to the end. You don't set certain things up and then just go, you know what?
We're going to scrap the whole thing.
Some fanboys were mad, so let's just give them a bunch of nostalgia and shit that doesn't make sense. Right. No thanks. Sorry. No. She's a Palpatine. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's just so much about it that I'm just like, no. So yeah, that's where we're at. What we were talking. Okay, so yes, guys. Now the one that everybody wants to talk about, that everybody wants to troll about. The Exorcist Believer. October 13th in theaters. Yes, I think Wonka looks bad too. Honestly, I really do.
I think it looks good. I think it looks good.
What up, Byron? How you doing? The Exorcist Believer. Justin, we talked about it about a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, when a lot of the first, reports were coming out about the test screenings, and people were like, I told you, it was going to be terrible, blah, 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 blah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will have you know that a couple nights ago on Twitter, I had a discussion with somebody that saw the most recent test screening last week. And I was like, can I pick your brain about it? And she was like, absolutely, sure. And she told me that David Gordon Green introduced it. Like he was there personally, and he told them before the movie started that they had done some reshoots.
Oh, yeah.
They had re-edited parts of the movie. They had taken some of the criticisms they got from the earlier test screenings, and they reworked the movie. Yeah. And that this should be the final cut, blah, blah, blah. And then these people watched it. Now, I will tell you, this woman is a middle-aged woman, in her 40s. So she's not like, the young generation that is just like, up with what's hip and spooky nowadays in horror movies. Yeah. She really, really enjoyed it.
That's good. Yeah.
And I was like, are you serious? I genuinely thought that I was going to get this. It's terrible, blah, blah, blah. Because she initially said the only Exorcist movies that are worth a damn are the first one and the third one. And I'm like, totally agree. Yeah. And she was like, I like this one better than 3. I was like, get the fuck out. Yeah, I was like, get the fuck out of here. She was like, you have, I can show you too all the things that she was saying back and forth to me. She said that this movie is an old school horror movie. It relies a lot on. I'm just going to pull it up right now. I'm going to pull up our conversation because I don't want to get this wrong, and I want to tell you guys. I want you guys to hear straight from the horse's mouth what this person had to say, because I found it really interesting and not something that I expected at all. She said, "My lordy, where is it?" But I'm really oh my God. Where is it, Justin? I have this there's this silence now. Okay, so she said it is. Oh my goodness, Justin. Talk, Justin, while I'm looking for this.
How's everyone doing?
Okay, I found it. All right. So she said, I'll read this straight from what you guys said. Okay. I was at the test screening last week, and it's a solid 8 out of 10. I was pleasantly surprised. She said, Ellen Burstyn should get a supporting actress nomination for this movie. I think that's a little too far, but that tells me that,
that's good.
She's good. She centers the film and lends her authority to the story. Linda Blair's cameo is awesome, and it sets up Deceiver. The music score in the movie is very Baroque. I absolutely loved it. Then she said, if you're an Exorcist fan, I seriously doubt that you will dislike this movie. A lot of people are just against possession movies nowadays, but this is not like the Pope's Exorcist. Overall, they did a solid job with this, and I think it is scary. By scary, I mean a good movie that happens to be a horror movie, not a scary movie. Yeah. I honestly don't think fans should be worried about this. She went into some more detail with stuff. I kind of picked her brain a little bit more about a couple things, but I didn't want to know specifics about certain things. But she specifically mentioned the acting is great, the music is great, and it plays a lot more like a drama with horror happening than a horror movie.
Yeah.
Which is what the first one was.
Exactly. Well, I was going to say the first one is like that, and I think of 1980s The Changeling. The Changeling is like that from 1980 with George C. Scott. It could be scary, but it doesn't have to be the horror movies that we have today. Hereditary is this big movie. People love Hereditary. That movie is a very story-driven, scary movie. But it's not your typical horror movie that we have today. There's a lot more to it. So, if people go into this movie expecting the possession films that we have today or expecting the horror movies that we have today, yeah, you might be disappointed, but if you love the first Exorcist movie, I'm not saying you're going to love this, but you might. Or I think people will really enjoy it. I don't see where people are going to hate this movie.
It's Blumhouse. It's Blumhouse, and it's an Exorcist sequel. They made their mind up. They made their mind up before they saw a trailer, before they heard the title, before they saw a poster. They heard Blumhouse had acquired the rights to The Exorcist, and David Gordon Green was the director, and a large swath of people said, nope, gonna suck. And then the first trailer came out, and they were like, oh my God, this trailer's dog shit. Guys, I was not blown away.
The trailer was awesome. Like, well, I didn't see it.
I wouldn't go that far myself. I thought it was just fine. But I will agree with you that the people that were like, that trailer was dog shit, this movie's going to be terrible. I don't know what trailer you watched, because we didn't watch the same one. I mean, there was a lot in the trailer. Also, this person did tell me that the trailer clearly leaned into some of the more marketable parts for the younger audience, but she told me the movie as a whole isn't like that. Yeah. So, and I literally said that to Christian. I said, I feel like they're probably trying to play up certain parts in the trailer for the younger audiences, but the movie may not be like that the whole time. Yeah. And it sounds like that's the case. So I just think that you're a cornball if you made up your mind that you were going to hate this movie before you got any info on it, any look at it. It's just corny. It's so corny. It's like old man that's like, get off my lawn. Like go into it at least hoping maybe it'll be decent. Maybe it will be worthy of having the title The Exorcist on it. And guys, at this point, what does that mean? Just better than the fucking Heretic. Jesus Christ.
Or just the best Exorcist movie we've had in a
since three.
Since three.
I can already tell you this is going to be the best one since three. Like, I know that for a fact, simply just because
I think it's going to be. I know it's going to be. Like, I have a soft spot for part 2, but it's not a good movie. Like a good movie. And it's sloppy. And then the prequels I don't care for. So it's, I think, if it's not as good, if it's not the second best, it's going to be the third best after.
Yeah, there's almost no way I think this movie could surpass the original or 3 for me. There's just too much about those movies that I love. But
same here. And Byron, hopefully I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Like they said, I'm hoping that The Exorcist is decent. Good movie. That's what I need. I just need it to be a good film. I don't need it to be a masterpiece.
Sarah, I want to thank you very much for your very kind donation, your super chat. I think it'll be really good, but not scary to me. Exorcist 3 was scary as hell, even more than the first film.
Exorcist 3 is the scariest one in the franchise.
I hear people say that all the time, and I wish I had that reaction to it. I just didn't. Maybe the first time I watched it, I was too old. Like, I didn't watch that till I was a teenager. So
I didn't like it when I first saw it when I was younger, because I saw The Exorcist, loved it. I was 20 when I saw the first Exorcist. And then after that, I watched the third one, and I was like, oh, this isn't an Exorcist movie. I was one of those. But then years later, rewatching it, I was like, this is a fucking awesome movie. Like, I love Exorcist 3, and it is a scary film. Like, for me, it's a scary movie now.
Rudy reminded me of something.
Yes, Queen.
It's been a while.
Are you gonna do it?
It's been a while.
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
I know. I was like, where has that been? Like, I was like, Nick, slacking. Anyway, he's choking over there.
Super chat.
I can't hear you. There you are.
Where's it been? I haven't been getting a lot of super chats. Like,
yeah, that's true.
We go through phases. Like, sometimes people are like, you know what? I want a super chat. And then it's like a month and I get like no super chats. And I'm like, well, shit. That's where it's been, Justin.
On his water. You guys made him choke.
Yeah, no, I was joking. Anyway. I mean, dude, it's just, for me, like, I've always just felt like I want to judge something on its own merits. Like, I want to give everything a chance. I think that saying a sequel to a classic property can't be good simply just because it's a modern sequel is so corny, because like we've seen that proven wrong so many times. Yeah. Do you think people in the 80s and 90s when a sequel would be announced to a movie that they liked, do you think there weren't people that were like, why? It doesn't need a sequel. It's going to tarnish. Exactly. Of course. It's always been that way. And time and time again, if we're willing to open our minds a little bit, we could just be like, oh shit, like this is actually decent. Like, okay. I have not, I don't think I am, Ben, but my buddy Jaden is going today actually. So, but yeah, I mean, it just like, I don't know, man. It just pisses me off. And you know what's funny, Justin? When the first reactions for the test screenings came out, so many people that wanted this movie to be bad were all over social media. Like, yeah. I told you it's going to be terrible. I told you. Yeah. Now that some positive reactions are coming out from test screenings, they're not talking about it.
No.
Only when it validates your opinion do you want to say anything. And when it doesn't, you don't say anything.
And I have a feeling not everybody, but a majority of people, maybe 50-50 of people who go into this movie are the people who hated it from the beginning, and they're going to walk into it going in, hating the film, and are going to come out saying they hated the movie. So it's not going to be a win-win for some people. So
no, and quite frankly, this movie might suck, guys. Like
it might be a terrible film.
Yes,
but I doubt it will
suck butthole. But
I doubt it would be terrible. I doubt it would be terrible.
Just being a sequel to The Exorcist does not mean it's going to suck. So just get off your high horse already, please.
And you guys know, I'm not always in love with David Gordon Green, but I think he's going to do a great job with this. From the trailers, I think he's going to do a great job.
I don't always love David Gordon Green, but when I do, I love David Gordon Green's Halloween Ends. So, yeah.
I appreciate it now.
Look, it is what it is, guys. I mean, I feel like there's people that have already made their minds up. And you know what? I feel like that's a miserable existence.
And that's the way it is.
I can't tell you how many movies I can't tell you how many movies I've gone into thinking, Byron, that's really not that hot of a take because Annabelle Creation was phenomenal. So if they can do this, what they did to The Nun like what they did to Annabelle with The Nun, it could end up being a great movie. I mean, I genuinely could see that. And I could see The Exorcist being just okay. Ben, we talked about that. We talked about that a few minutes ago. Yeah, very, very excited about that.
You never know with movies. I mean, hey, I still remember going into the Nightmare on Elm Street remake expecting to hate it. Like that was one where I was like, I don't.
Dude, I was pumped for that movie.
You what?
I was pumped for that movie.
I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. Like, I don't know how I feel. And I walked out and I was like, I love this movie.
It does have the same dude, but Ben, my issue is honestly with The Nun. And
I love The Nun.
Hold on. With this director, Justin, I don't know if he's good at crafting scares.
I mean, it is the guy who directed
The Conjuring 3.
Conjuring 3 and Curse of
La Llorona.
None
of those movies are scary.
I did not like Curse of La Llorona. There was so much good potential there, and they did not do what I wanted.
So it's like this guy might be capable of telling a really good story. This guy might be really good with working with actors. Who knows? But I don't know if he can really do horror, like scares.
Yeah.
But maybe we got spoiled with James Wan in that franchise, man.
I think we did.
Yeah, we just got spoiled, and we're like, where is The Conjuring every time? I don't know.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I don't know if I said anything about butts, Rudy. What are you talking about? Sometimes I wonder. Rudy. Anyway, Justin.
Yes.
That brings us to the next one. There's two more I want to talk about before the end of the year. And this next one, I don't really have much to say on. It's Five Nights at Freddy's. And I know there's probably a lot of people in here going, what do you mean you don't have a lot to say about it? It's going to be like one of the biggest horror movies of the year. You're absolutely right. It's going to make a ton of money. Every time something about it comes out online, it blows up on social media. So I know it's going to be huge. I know there's a huge fan base, but I never played the game.
I don't know anything about this except for the trailer that I saw when I went to a movie. Like, they played the trailer. I was like, this looks good.
Yeah, it's got an awesome cast too.
Oh, it's got a great cast. Yeah, but I was like, I don't know too much about this.
Oh, did I say that, Rudy? I might. Oh, I said balls. Thought I said balls. Whatever. Either way. Not yeah. It's a turn of phrase. But guys, it's just new old school. Yes, yeah, I saw that, Ben. Dude, Godzilla anything, I'm all about it. Like I'm all about it. Like give me Godzilla. They actually just pushed back Godzilla and Kong. They pushed it only a month though. Only a month. But as of right now, I mean, there just doesn't seem to be any end in sight right now for these damn strikes. Like,
is that, I mean, speaking of which, Adam Wingard, is he directing the next Godzilla movie? Sweet.
Yeah, that movie's already done. It's already done.
Cool.
Really, really looking forward to that movie. But yeah, as far as Five Nights at Freddy's go, guys, it's like everybody's talking about it. I know for a fact I won't go to theaters to see it. I know it's coming out day and date on Peacock. If it gets good reviews, I might check it out.
Yeah.
I might check it out on Peacock.
It looks good. No, I'm not saying it looks bad. It just looks good. Again, if I was more of a fan of the game, I would be totally into it, but I'm not. I don't know anything about the game.
Oh, Rudy, that's actually Apple TV Plus. That's actually oh goodness. That's actually Apple TV. But yeah, the Monarch show. Did you see the first images of that, Justin? The Monarch Apple TV show?
No.
Yeah, it's a Godzilla series that takes place between Godzilla 2014 and King of the Monsters. It looks awesome.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Awesome.
Yes. What's up, Eric? How you doing, man?
Hello.
But yeah, so Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, do you have anything else to add on that, Justin?
No, I'm happy that people are excited for it, though, and I hope it does well. I just, again, don't know too much about it, so I don't really have much of an opinion on it. So
yeah, guys, I don't want to. Yeah, Justin and I have the same opinion. We don't want to fake being like super stoked because like we just don't really know much about it. But I do know that a ton of people are excited.
So
yeah, we did at the beginning, Charlie. We did.
Yeah, we did. Yes, excited, Charlie. Very excited.
And then one that nobody's talking about, Justin. When it got announced, it created a little bit of buzz, and then it kind of came and went.
Which one? Is
that, my friend, would be Thanksgiving. Eli Roth's.
Oh, is it coming out this year? I thought it was coming out next year. Like I didn't know it was coming out this year.
This year, yes.
I'm so excited.
With Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, I love Patrick Dempsey.
I'm sure you do. I'm actually going to pull it up right now. Oh my God. If you search Thanksgiving 2023, it just brings up the date for Thanksgiving, not the movie. It comes out November 17th.
Cool.
It is starring Addison Rae, Patrick Dempsey, Rick Hoffman, Gina Gershon. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, release, theaters, November 17th.
Cool.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Me too.
How cool. It's so underrated, Justin. We don't have enough like any Thanksgiving horror movies.
We really don't. Like I've kind of made up my own Thanksgiving horror movies. Like You're Next is probably not really considered a Thanksgiving horror movie, but I'm like that. You know what?
It's like a perfect fall movie. Yeah.
Pretty fall movie.
It's fall, but it's not Halloween fall. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's a difference. November's fall is very different than October's fall.
Exactly. So, but yeah, we don't have a lot of Thanksgiving horror movies, so I'm psyched for it. Cannot wait. Wait. Very excited.
So, guys, we're not done yet. Don't worry. That was just us previewing most of the major horror releases coming up for this year. I would say I made a tweet a couple days ago, and I stand by this, and I think a lot of people do agree. We have a lot to look forward to still this year. There's a lot of really good stuff that still is yet to come out that I'm really excited about, and I think you guys should be too. So we as horror fans, there's a lot to see. So let's keep going to the movies and keep supporting these movies.
Yeah,
but yeah, at this point, guys, I want to open it up. Y'all ask questions. Let's have a conversation.
Let's talk. Let's have conversations.
Yes. Give us some zingers.
Let's talk. What's happening? Oh, are you going to order the new Child's Play 4Ks? I
What
debated
is it? Bride, Seed, Curse, and Cult?
Yeah, I debated on it, and then I was watching.
I don't like
Shout
Seed
out-
or Cult, though.
I know, but shout out to Christian Hannah Horror because I'll get our good old buddy because he's doing these reviews, and I'm like, damn, now I want these.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Yeah, and I get it. I do. I do get it.
Because
But
at first I wasn't excited. I was like, but I'm like, oh gosh.
yeah,
The
I
only one I
mean,
don't like is Cult. That's the only one I don't like. And I'm like, everything else I love or really enjoy, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
yeah, it's. I was actually talking about that the other day. Like, I don't know how to feel about that anymore because I feel like part of me thinks Cult might be my least favorite, not Seed.
Cult is my bottom of the barrel least favorite. Yeah, but and I felt like I love Curse so much, but I'm like, how good can they make that one look? Because that was
Curse is great.
Yeah, Curse is great, but it was shot. I don't want to say it was shot on video, but it was. I don't know.
How would you rank all 7?
Oh, I could
Check.
do this. Child's Play, Bride of Chucky, Child's Play 2, Curse of Chucky. I had to think about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm counting the reboot, by the way. I know some people aren't doing it.
Yeah,
I'm
count it.
counting the reboot. I'm counting it. Curse of Chucky. Gotta think about these. So what we got? The reboot. So that's top 5 there for me. Child's Play 3, Seed of Chucky, and Cult of Chucky. Thank you, Bobby Lee. Thank you.
Okay, so here's where I stand on that. Least favorite. I'm still gonna say Seed right now. I still am gonna say Seed. Eric, I might, because I do know that the tease is a tease for Terrifier 3. So
I hang up the Terrifier movies. So I'm not. I liked them. I don't know if I'll see 3. I don't own them. So.
Okay.
I don't own them.
I'd still say Seed is my least favorite, then Cult, then Child's Play 3. But I do like Child's Play 3. I would say from Child's Play 3 on, I like all of them.
Yeah.
And then you're getting into the nitty gritty here. Fudge. Child's Play 2019. And then top 4. That's right. Child's Play 2019 is number 5.
Top 5. Look at that. We ranked that number 5 together.
Yeah, that movie is good. I really don't care what anybody says. Bride, Curse, Child's Play 2.
Nice.
Yes, I have Curse above Bride. I really do. And I honestly, I feel like it's because I feel like as the years go on, I have kind of settled in with where I put Bride and how I feel about Bride. It doesn't ever gain any points for me or lose any. It's just, it is here. I've accepted, how I feel about it. Whereas I feel like Curse, just every time I watch it, I'm just like, I feel like it's, I don't know. It gets a little bit better for me. I really, really dig Curse.
What I love about Curse so much is
what's up, man?
It went back to a more serious, dark tone, and that's what I wanted with the franchise.
Yes,
like I really wanted that, and I'm. So
and then
happy.
Don Mancini couldn't fucking help himself and was like, "Okay, you guys like that? Now let's get back to the weird shit with Cole."
He dipped his hand in the candy jar, and I always say this: like he makes a really great film, then he makes a not so great movie or bad movie called Chucky, and goes back and forth. I'm like, dude, like I had faith in you, and then you let me down.
Yeah, if he wants to be the director, that's fine. I don't know if he should be writing all these by himself anymore. I really don't. He can't help himself. He cannot help himself.
I haven't seen season 2 of Chucky, but I know you weren't a fan. I love the first season. I haven't seen the second.
Okay, so season 2 isn't terrible. It's just season 1 was a lot more grounded and almost like it was like Curse, not that grounded, but like, okay, we're getting back to a little bit of basics here. There's some realism. I mean, as much realism as there can be in that series, just to in the second season just to poop all over it. I mean,
Yeah.
it changed it up, but I know that it's got its fans, whatever.
I mean, I know his least favorite. I think he is quoted, and don't quote me, but I think he said Child's Play 3 is his least favorite one, and I'm like, Child's Play 3 is my favorite. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites.
Child's Play 3 is better than Seed and Cult, Don.
I love Child's Play 3. I love it.
Yeah, from Child's Play 3, I would say Child's Play 3 and Child's Play 2019 are very good movies for me. And then my top 4, I would say, are great movies. Are we looking forward to Crystal Lake? Yeah, of course. Of course.
I want to know more announcements, though. I need to know more.
Well, it's these damn strikes.
I know.
Did you like The Boogeyman?
I haven't seen it.
I thought it was solid. But I got to be honest with you, Brent. It's one of those movies that you watch, and I don't know how often you find yourself
going back and
rewatching it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's just not. It was fine. It was fine.
You have those movies where it's like they're good films, but you can only watch them once. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally get it. It's like there could be great movies where I'm like, oh, I think this is a great movie. I love it. But I'm like, would I go back and watch it though?
A24 will probably be the best thing ever made. Oh God.
I'm 50-50 with A24.
Byron,
great movies so far.
Byron, I respect it, but I would never want to see a sequel to Halloween Ends ever in a million years. I feel one, I know you could go other places, but I feel like the way they ended it was perfect. I think it was a great send off, and I think the next time Michael comes back, it should be, totally different, and I'm excited. But no, guys, he's playing up something that I've bitched about many times, and so is Christian. We've bitched about it. Maxine is done filming. I know that, but I believe it was supposed to have a first look at one of the cons that was coming up soon, but obviously since that's not happening because of the strikes.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's an A24. I mean, that's another thing. Anything A24 right now, for the most part, can still go forward because they met they met the actors and the writers' demands.
Yeah.
So Maxine is done. I just don't think they're going to release it if you can't do press. There's just no point in not being able to have a premiere and not, all that, doing interviews for it, all that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Damien Leone, I think, would work for Friday the 13th. I don't think he would work for A Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's the guy who directed Terrifier, right?
Mm-hmm. The only legacy characters are Mike and Karen from 1, De Silva, and Tyler from 3. I think Tyler will be back, and I could see Karen eventually.
Oh, a new Hatchet movie. Hell to the yeah. I would love to see a new Hatchet movie.
Would I be open to a zombie Michael Myers so they could continue after Ends? I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know.
Sliced and diced.
I don't know.
Slice and diced.
I almost kind of like that he's not, supernatural in that way.
Sliced and diced.
I don't know.
Final Destination. I don't know too much news about that one right now.
It's not coming this year. I can tell you that.
No,
it's not with everything going on, but it is still coming. Yes. I believe there was an update on that a couple weeks ago. I don't know if Bloody Disgusting covered it, but I read an article about it. It's still happening. But they haven't even started filming.
No.
So yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I 4 out of the 5 movies in that franchise I do love. So.
Yeah, you love 4?
Yeah, I have a
that
turd.
That turd. Yeah, there is. It's an Omen prequel called Damien.
I didn't know about this. What?
Yeah, nobody does because it's gonna flop harder than.
Is this really coming out? I didn't know anything about this.
Yes. Yeah. It comes out. Let me look it up. Ben. Yes, it's There's
I love the Omen franchise.
There's a prequel coming out next year called
Day One.
Yeah, Quiet Place Day 1, and There is A Quiet Place Part 3. I think 2025 is when that's slated for. It's not called Damien. It's called The First Omen.
So clever. I love the movie, by the way.
Jesus Christ. Justin, just reading about this.
What?
Oh my God.
It's Damien's father. Or whatever.
This is fucking stupid. I mean, Bill Nighy's in it. Davy Jones? Okay.
I gotta look at this up. I have no idea. I didn't know this thing was happening.
Filming completed in January.
Oh. Wow.
I don't know. It's just fucking. Oh my God.
The First Omen, 2023.
The First Omen.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see who's directing this movie.
I've never heard the name before in my life.
Yeah, I've never. So we'll see.
Yeah. Jess Graham. You sexual man chocolate. How you doing? I would watch any horror movie James Wan does. Anyone.
Me too.
Anyone.
Me too. I love
Justin,
James.
any excitement for the Toxic Avenger reboot?
No. Sorry, I don't mean to be. I'm just not a fan of the first one, so I've
never even seen it.
It's acquired taste. I'm not dissing anybody who likes it. I'm just saying it's acquired taste, and I just don't care. Don't really care for the Toxic Avenger.
If Nightmare goes the reboot route, would you want that for the next Friday the 13th movie in the future, or a direct sequel to the final chapter? It's got to be a reboot.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know.
I'm always excited for an Alien movie, especially with that director attached to it.
Alien Romulus. There's no way that's going to be the final title. There's no way.
They're going to change it probably.
If they made a new season of Masters of Horror, which directors would you want to direct episodes?
Well, the first one that pops in my head, Mike Flanagan.
Wan.
Yeah. Adam Green. I do think Rob Zombie. I don't care. I love Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie, yeah.
Great lineup there.
What's his face? Fuck. Oh my God. There was another one. It'd be Rob Zombie, James Wan, Mike Flanagan. You said Adam Green, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Adam Wingard. Oh, Ty
Yeah.
West. Ty West.
The guy who directed It Follows. Like, got some great names.
David Robert Mitchell, that has only made one movie since.
Yep.
Fucking bullshit.
I was thinking he'd be really good for a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Yes, I've been playing it pretty much every night.
Sweet.
I know Ben's just being a shit poster saying that about Jordan Peele. He's nowhere on that level yet. No matter what some of his fanboys might say, he's nowhere on that level. He's just, I would take.
I haven't seen the last one yet. I haven't really watched it yet. I haven't watched it yet.
I think you'll probably like it, but Christian and I talked in the last episode of the podcast, and I'm actually starting to think this might be the case. I think he peaked with Get Out. I think his first movie is going to be his best movie. I don't think he's ever going to finish that again.
I think so too.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would take Flanagan, James Wan, Ty West, and Rob Zombie over him right now. Honestly, like I really would. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
We will see. I mean, you would put David Gordon Green on Masters of Horror. I would do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I think everybody would love that.
Everybody would be thrilled.
I mean, depends on how this Exorcist movie does. Although I will to let people know that are not excited at all. Don't worry, guys. He's only directing the first one. So You don't have to worry about him doing this whole trilogy.
Of the Exorcist ones?
Yeah, he's only doing the first one.
Really? I didn't know that. I thought he was directing all three of them.
Yeah, no, just the first one. Yeah, I think for me, I just think you have to have more skin in the game. Personally, I think you have to have I just think you've personally got to have like multiple, acclaimed movies.
Yeah.
And you have to show that you can sustain it for a while, I think, before you can even be in that conversation. And like Get Out is a movie like that, but then you've got Us that I just thought was like,
It grew on me. I didn't love it when I first saw it. I was like, I don't get the hype for this movie.
I still don't. I still don't. And then Nope, which I think was a step up from Us. But
really?
Yeah, no, I do. I do. And Christian thinks the same thing. I think a lot of people feel that way. Most people, I think, would say Us is his weakest movie now.
Yeah.
But but still, I mean,
You forgot a director for Masters of Horror, Lee Wynell. Totally be down for Lee Wynell. Did you mention Lee Wynell?
I didn't. But I like Lee a lot.
I love Lee. So yeah.
Have you heard anything pertaining to Hellraiser or I Know What You Did Last Summer? No and no. At least I Know What You Did Last Summer. There was some chatter earlier this year. Hellraiser's deader than a doornail.
Which is sad because Hellraiser 2022 was awesome. Like I loved Hellraiser 2022.
Yeah, I don't even
really
like
Blu-ray earlier. I haven't heard anything about a Blu-ray, Sarah.
Me neither. I don't even really like to talk about it, honestly. It really bums me out. They put $20+ million behind a Hellraiser movie in 2022, and it looks great, and a lot of people like it, and a lot of people watch it, and nothing happens. It's just
yep.
Stop dumping these movies that deserve to go to theaters on streaming. And before anybody goes, well, Hellraiser's more of a niche thing. You know what else is a niche thing? Evil Dead Rise, and it made $150 million. Okay, good reviews on a horror movie. Evil Dead Rise.
Oh yeah.
Evil Dead was never a series. Evil Dead has always been a cult series, always.
And Evil Dead Rise was originally an HBO Max movie. It was not going to go to theaters at first. It was intended for an HBO Max movie, and Warner Brothers saw something in it and said, "We need to release this."
Yeah, but yeah, as far as a Blu-ray release, no. I haven't seen the new trailer yet. I did see Brad. Brad posted it last night. From Bloody Disgusting. So I will check it out. I still haven't seen the most recent one. Was that 99? Was that the most recent VHS?
I don't know. I don't follow that anthology too much.
No. Yeah. Prey is.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, here. If Prey does well, physical media wise, we could see Hellraiser. And we could see, and this is sad because it was a big hit in theaters, Barbarian get a release. So,
yeah. I
mean, if people go and buy Prey, we could get these movies on physical release.
Yeah, man, it's such a bummer. It's such a bummer what streaming has done in a lot of ways.
And Barbarian, by the way, was a theatrical movie. And they're like, well, we're not releasing a physical copy of it. Even though it did well, we're not releasing a physical copy.
Man,
Stupid.
I know that's all tangled up in like home distribution rights issue, right? With 20th Century, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Just wild times we're living in where everybody prioritized streaming, studios, filmmakers, audiences for a while because it's all we had.
Yeah.
And then we came out of all that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we've kind of already dug our grave in a lot of ways, and now we're dealing with the repercussions of that. A bunch of stuff that we loved that came out on streaming when everybody was watching streaming and couldn't go to the theater, a bunch of it we're never going to get to see on physical media. Right. And you know how this is, Justin. Eventually, these things also leave streaming, and then you're just nowhere to be found at all.
Yeah. I know. That's a sad thing. That's why we collect physical media, because yeah, some of the movies we own on physical media could be on streaming, but they could take them off streaming and you would not have those. So
Yeah.
I deleted 3 of my streaming services because I was like, it was good for a time, but I was like, I don't really watch these too much, and I'm like, just get rid of them.
Dude, it's just wild
And
time.
some streaming services I'm mad at because they're like, oh, we're going to remove things. And I'm like, and they don't have good reasons why they're removing them.
I'm pretty sure. Didn't Max just remove the Hellraiser movies, or they're about to?
They might be
yeah.
removing them. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so wild. I hate it.
Yeah.
Get me out of this simulation. I don't want to be in the simulation anymore.
That's right. That's right.
Favorite Halloween movie, Andrew, is the original Halloween, followed by Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, followed by Halloween 5. Yes.
Mine, original Halloween 2, 1981, and Halloween H2O. By the way, happy 14 years of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. 14, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Celebrating. I can't believe it's 14 years.
Next year will be 15 years.
Doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. And then Rob's first movie, 16 years. Like, what the heck?
Wow.
What the heck?
Wait a second, Ben. What? Like Finding Nemo? Like Finding Nemo? Because my son loves Finding Nemo. Are you telling me that they were going to do a show and then they said no?
I think that was one of those things. I read somewhere where, like, was it Disney? Yeah, it was. I read somewhere where Disney Plus had 2 shows lined up and they already pulled them before they can get released.
Dear Lord. My favorite
I don't have
year.
Disney Plus anymore. So
my favorite year in horror. God, I don't know.
No, that's a hard one for me. I don't know. 1981, maybe, because 1981 was a kick-ass year for a lot of horror movies.
What do you mean, David? What do you mean exactly? It's not like any other month.
Oh, sorry.
No, I elaborate a little bit on that.
I think he wants to know, like, do we have a lineup of, like, a list of movies we're watching, like, day 1, day 2?
I actually am doing that this year. Yes, I can tell you that. But we're not there yet. Dude, favorite year in horror? I really don't know.
I know it's so hard. It's so hard. So hard to think about that.
I mean, because you think about specific films that meant a lot to you.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you look at the year, that year as a whole, you might be like, yeah, but it wasn't that solid of a year. But like, for example, like I look at 2009 with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I loved that movie, but that wasn't a great year in horror.
No, I'm sticking with 1981 for me. I think 1981 that's a pretty solid.
Yeah, I feel like any year in the 80s, honestly, you could pick and make a good argument for it.
I'm gonna go 1988. I'm just kidding, but 1988 was the year I was born, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah, right. 1988, Halloween 4.
Halloween 4, Nightmare 4, The Blob.
Yes.
Child's Play. I mean, damn.
So David, we haven't done that. I haven't done that before, but I am doing that this year. Yes. I am doing a 31 Days of October. And we're actually going to do one for the podcast too. So I have not seen Castlevania. I have read the Halloween 3D script. I have.
Sweet.
And then as far as Byron, I saw earlier about, you asked about an anthology for Halloween 3. I'd love that. I think Justin and I both said we'd like to see that. But as far as the character of Allison goes, I think her character's done.
Yeah,
I don't think she ever comes back to Halloween, which is fine. I mean,
it's a nice. They wrapped up those characters in a nice trilogy.
She's done until Corey rises from the dead and becomes Zombie Myers. Zombie Corey. Yeah, Mark, you asked the wrong question. No, I don't want Zombie Myers. I want Zombie Corey. That's what I really want. That's what the people want. It's what the people deserve.
That's what they deserve.
Yes, I love that. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe. And saw X's trailer. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Badass. Yes.
Yep. Quentin, we're actually gonna Christian and I had already talked about the next Unita After Dark. He wants to get you on there. He wants to we'll send you something to get you on the After Dark. So
Cool.
yes.
Of course, we'll be doing stuff. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna.
Oh yeah. I thought the Boogeyman was all right, David. I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty solid. I actually talked about that earlier. It's not one that I think I'll ever find myself revisiting a lot, but very solid. Ben, best horror movie soundtrack.
Oh gosh.
Dream Master and Dream Child are both great. Saw 5 has a great soundtrack too.
Fright Night, the original Fright Night, has an
Lost
awesome
Boys, Fright Night, yes.
Queen of the Damned has a great soundtrack too, Sarah. That's a great soundtrack.
God damn. Some of these questions, man. Some of these questions, Ben. You dig deep. You dig deep, man. You make me think. I'm like having an existential crisis over here.
Oh yeah, Sarah. I'd be down for something. So
Scream 3 does have a nice soundtrack too. I agree.
Yeah. My channel's gonna be October, guys. Way too soon to have in October. So
he's getting naked on stream.
That's right. Nude. Go on. Blast.
All right. Well, if you guys haven't already, we have reached an hour and a half, so you know what that means. We are going to skedaddle. Put a like on this if you haven't yet. If you didn't, well, then what's wrong with you? All
right.
Why do you hate it?
Like it.
Throw a like on here, okay? We love y'all. I will miss you guys next week.
Ooh.
And I am on Ryan Tober.
I like that, Ben. I'm giving you credit, dude. That's awesome.
I will be I will be on vacation next week, so we will not be streaming next week.
I'll be naked next week.
Yeah, Justin will be naked, so guys, look out for that. Justin, as always, it was great.
Likewise. Same. Likewise.
Can't wait to do this again. To every single one of you in the chat, we love you. We'll
love
see
you
you
guys.